not torture.
Right. No.
They like it.
Exactly.
Like in putting this stuff together, this was probably over the years 1,000 hours of work. I loved it. In fact, I did some more research last night. I didn't have time to include, so I'll include the latest night. I was up till 3 o'clock looking at this. It was very exciting. Good writers, eminent people, produce a lot. They can't help but producing a lot. Let me give you some numbers. Picasso, 50,000 works of art. Stephen King, 54 novels. Linus Pauling, 1,101 publications. My favorite is Paul Erdős. Oh, I gotta tell you about Paul Erdős. Mathematician. Paul Erdős was one of the weirdest people of all time. He didn't live anywhere. He just traveled around, PhD in math, didn't have a job. He'd come to your house and say, well, let's consider the following equations. He'd start writing, stay with you for 3 days, and you'd write 2 papers, then he'd travel on. His total publications, 1,525. His expression was, another roof, another proof. Mathematicians have Erdős numbers. If you've been quoted directly by Erdős, or you've co-authored with him, you've Erdős 1. If you've co-authored with someone who's co-authored, you're 2. That's it. And all mathematicians have at least 6. The Beatles, 275 pieces of music. Mozart, 600 compositions. By the time Mozart was my age, he'd been dead for 40 years. Okay. Barbara Cartland, 700 novels. Okay, there it goes. With the exception of Barbara Cartland, we have positive correlations between quantity and quality. I've read 3 Barbara Cartland novels. I feel like I've read the same one 3 times. I just wanted to see what it was like. These are original Harlequins, okay? The more you do, the smarter you get. The work itself, the producing of the work itself helps enormously. Not a lot of scientists and creative people produce a lot. There's something called Price's Law. Take the number of people in a discipline, like let's say there are 10,000 mathematicians. The square root, 100, produces 50% of the work. In music, there are about 250, 275 composers. The square root is 15. 15 composers dominate the concert stage. It's Mozart, Brahms, Beethoven, etc. So not everyone does this. The ones who find what they like and have a chance to work, being middle class helps a lot. In fact, I don't know anyone not middle class who's ever made it in this field. You've got to have the luxury that society does not provide people. So this is more evidence that quantity and quality. Okay. Anything else? Yes?
You said the first question has to be funny, right?
No.
Oh.
I'll do the jokes.
Can you tell us about your own educational journey as a child? Like what books did you enjoy reading for fun, and how was your schooling?
I would like to give you a story of how I overcome great obstacles and had harrowing challenges. But through grit and determination, I overcame barriers, family tragedies, home pathology, poverty. None of them are true. I had an easy time. I still do. When I met with the committee Between Lives, they decided to give me a pass on this. I grew up middle class in a family with nearly zero pathology. My sister and I still get along very well. No problem. I'll tell you the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. The funniest thing. My uncle Mike, may he rest in peace, addressed the family at the first family reunion in 1976. He said the funniest thing I've ever heard. He said, "It's so good to see most of you." But mostly it's been fine. Cousins, all that. We had enough money. I didn't have to drop out of school and work. None of that. Lots of books, readers, stories, everything. Nearly complete support all the way through. And this is tragic, saying all this, because you don't have this, you don't have a chance. I did do a lot of work and work hard, but it was all put in my lap. If you subtract one of the advantages that I had, I don't think I would have made it. A football coach in Texas was talking about these arrogant rich people. He says, these are people who were born on third base and they think they hit a triple. No, I was born at second base. I didn't hit a double. I just got mine. So that's my family background. Easy all the way.
I just had a question, since you were talking so much about writing and, writing down your ideas and that kind of thing. How does that translate to the classroom? Do we, we do the stories, do they need to write to help process? Or is there anything that, how does writing fit in all this? What would be the best use?
I would do
of
it when it
writing?
comes naturally as part of the activity. When you have to force it, don't do it. People want to write, go ahead. You don't have to. You want to write a story, go ahead. But writing is output. We acquire language by input. Writing, there's no correlation between quantity of writing and how well you write in terms of style. But if you write to solve problems, it makes you smarter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the solving the problem part, but we don't ask them to solve a problem and write.
Let me tell you something. TPRS is the only beginning language method that even touches this stuff, where you begin to explore, as Grant and Bryce and Karen have been doing in their work and personalizations, you begin to explore interpersonal relations. You begin to get to know your friends. Lots of issues come up in classes. If you get our best-selling book, we examined the question of who is good looking, and in our forthcoming sequel, it will be, is this a good thing? Is good looking enough? So what's happening in the, thank you very much, in the basic readers that we're getting in TPR people, some of them are bringing up some interesting issues, some ethical issues. So I like it. Foreign language classes, it's never been done before. This is a breakthrough. So we're seeing the germs of it happening here. If you have your students write something, say we could just say anything they like. We have a collection of them. Mandarin teacher, a little tiny Mandarin teacher group is put together. We ask people to send in the stories from classes. I've written a few, and we call it the Great Mandarin Reading Project. And you look at them, and they're pretty good. If you're a third grade, fourth grade teacher, and you ask your kids to write something, to write an essay or their opinion, you get 20 kids writing something, 3 or 4 are going to be as interesting as anything you've ever read. Isn't that true? So this is a place where we can get this creative stuff going, share it. We now have the internet. We can share things with other people. We can share things across classes. So if we're going to use writing to make ourselves smarter in language education, it's going to come through this group. Yes.
Hi, I studied you for the first time around 2003, 2004 when I started teaching. This is my second career. And I studied some of your theories and your hypotheses, but I had no idea on how to apply it until really the last couple of years. And it has been like the most fabulous experience in my life, and I'm sure everyone else here too. When you develop those theories, my question is, did you envision the strategies to be what they are today?
No, I had the slightest idea what I was doing. In those days, I was never in the linguistics department, so anything I applied was beneath my dignity. You need the truth. It was purely theoretical. When the stuff came out, I was only thinking when the idea of comprehensible and those hypotheses came, this was theoretical argument. And I did say things like, yeah, maybe we should do more of this in class. Then I found out about James Asher, who had the same ideas I did at the same time. Tracy Terrell had the same ideas and worked it in, so we started collaborating. And I look at it like this, I'll give you a brief history of the methods as I see them now, and Bill Bencappy will give you a very interesting perspective, which I think is quite complementary to this. First, we had bilingual repetition. Comprehensible or not compelling at all. stories are the most fundamental things of our life. People who work on this, we interpret our lives in terms of a narrative. And we're the protagonist in this story. Everyone likes stories. If you go to a party and you don't know anybody, the best way to prepare is see the 3 latest movies. Linda, this does not include Batman versus Superman. I think you and I and Darcy agree to that now, right? Okay. We did this in the past. Feels so badly. Let's watch this movie. Oh gosh. Anyway. The other one, Terminator 5. I like that. So watch the latest 3 movies and you have something to talk about. Because everyone likes movies, because everybody likes stories. I had no idea this stuff when I came up with this comprehensible input thing in the comprehension hypothesis. But I have now seen that the more I learn about the world in general, the more kind of faith I have in the field. So the next time I'll explain it.
Hi, I'm Brett Chonko. I teach Spanish in Virginia. This is half a question to you, see whether it exists, if it's out in the market, and half a pitch to all the authors in the room, like Carrie Toth and Christy Placido and Carol Gobb and all the people I haven't met yet. They're probably here somewhere. I've done some of the TPRS publishing, or the TPR Storytelling Inc. novels in class. I've read, 20 of the 26 or so. I think they're great. But my students are excited for like 3 of the chapters, and then it starts to wear on them in the Spanish 1 class. Probably because of my shortcomings. But I think there's a market for like 15 or 10-page stories, like a book of 100 pages or so. But the stories are like 7 pages or 10 pages or 12 pages, not 60 pages. So it doesn't need both. And I think that TPR storytelling could reach out to the people who are interested in this to develop, a compilation of shorter stories.
I think we should hire R.L. Stein. Because each chapter is short and you can't wait to turn the page.
Just again, please.
Pardon?
Do you mind if you read that again?
R.L. Stein. Camp Fear. Let me tell you about Camp Fear. It's in the First Street thing. 11-year-old kids get in the bus to go to summer camp. Driving in the bus. The bus driver is like me in the morning without coffee. It's just, he won't talk to them. They drive deeper into the forest, deeper into the woods. It gets darker and darker. Finally, he stops the bus. He says, "Everybody out." And then he drives away. End of chapter 1. That's good writing. We want to know what's going to happen next. That's exactly what you're asking for. Something that's gripping, compelling, etc.
Doesn't exist yet?
No, I'm sure it does.
That's a really good question for IFLT, and you're on your way to IFLT, and you'll get better at teaching reading. And
If y'all are in the room,
all those folks are in the room.
Come say hi to me. I'd love to meet you.
Brett, just to put your question in context, how many days have you been teaching?
Well, I'm going into my 6th year of teaching Spanish, but I've only done stuff like this for a semester.
You're in the right place. Starting tomorrow.
Thank you for your patience. We'll do it again sometime.
Wait. Wait. First applaud. Go ahead. Sorry. But don't leave, because since I have you all here, I would like you to do one thing, because I just think it'd be really cool to have everybody stand on that side of the room and take one enormous picture, because I've been thinking about it since y'all walked in. But the other thing is, I need to do some thank yous. There's a language school here in Chattanooga, and the Chattanooga School of Language. Is she still here?
She laughed.
No. Somebody tell her. I talked about it. Who here's from the school or knows about the school? And who's from Chattanooga? Who lives here in Chattanooga or nearby? We'd love for you to keep taking classes with them. They were so wonderful to us. They even did a Good Morning America interview on the local TV station and plugged the classes. They're amazing. Who wants to say, give me a website or something? Or a Facebook page. Chattanooga School of Language. There's a Facebook page. If you're anywhere nearby and you want to keep taking language classes, their teacher came here to get trained, and then they're going to be able to do more classes. That's the first thing. And then also, IFLT starts tomorrow, and they were also really wonderful. How many people are here either because of IFLT or because you heard about this through IFLT? Carol Gobbs over there in the corner, thank you. Carol, do you want to say anything? What do they need to know next?
You put me on the spot. Nothing. We're ready for you tomorrow almost. And thanks for coming out. I am so happy that everyone was able to hear Steve Krashen twice, 2 times in 2 days. So really the applause goes to Karen for setting the whole thing up. I did nothing but report. And obviously, let's thank Dr. Krashen for his great words of wisdom. So thank you.
Okay, so what do you think? Is this doable?